Panther people, what's good? Or what's really, really bad? What's going on, Panther people? Change of scenery here. I'm barbecuing. And the reason why I'm barbecuing is I just need something to keep my mind off what we just witnessed this afternoon. I'll be completely transparent with you guys. I listened to the game because I was walking my dog. And to be honest, it didn't sound any better. But I'm pretty glad I didn't sit down and watch that. The Panthers lose to the 1-5 and depleted on the skill position New York Giants 25-3. They now go to 3-4. The Giants, which were statistically one of the worst teams in the NFL, they just met Dr. Panthers and they just got a pill of the we look decent team. I don't know what the offensive coordinator with the Giants did, but he schemed up a great game filled with trick plays. And mind you, Daniel Jones is the run-of-the-mill quarterback. He's not elite. He's not the worst. He's just kind of in the middle. He's in the Jared Goff zone. And the Panthers made him look decent. The offense did not do the defense any favors, but everyone is to blame. You can talk about the offensive line as much as you want. You could talk about the running back as much as you want. You could talk about Sam Darnold. Really, it's a wrap. It is a wrap, people. I said it last week. As Dennis Green said, he is who we thought he was. And he did not give the Panthers any chances after going 3 straight games of 300 yards, first time ever. Now he just almost cracked the 299, but the guy was incompetent, absolutely incompetent. He got forced back into the end zone to force the safety. It was 5-2 at one point. No, it was 3-2 at one point. Just that's some CFL stuff. And don't disrespect the CFL because they have rouges out here, and it was just absolutely embarrassing to see. But you could blame the players as much as you want. This goes to the coaches. And I'm surprised I didn't see Joe Person or anyone tweet saying that, Joe Brady was left at MetLife or Matt Rhule was left at MetLife. Phil Snow's safe. I wouldn't have him as interim head coach. Chase Blackburn was left at MetLife Stadium. None of that happened. So I don't know what that means about accountability on Fiddy's side because this is his team that he's general managing. But someone needs to pay for this. During this week, Matt Rhule said that they need to rely on the run more. They're going to change the identity of this team. They're going to run. He said at least 33 runs or so. They hit 17. And that's really counting a Shi Smith jet sweep or whatever it was from -3 yards. They never went back to him again, which doesn't make any sense. And a PJ Walker scramble. So really just 15 rushes, half of what they promised. This is supposed to be that new identity. And they didn't deliver. And now I'm starting to take some mental notes of Matt Rhule. Is he a bullshit artist? Is he a used car salesman? He talks slick. He's great. He's a, decent looking dude. He's charismatic. He can carry a room. He can move a crowd. He can get them to stand up. He can get them to jump. He can say him do whatever he wants. But he just talks a lot of shit. He talks a lot of smack. But does he actually follow it up? In the UK, they call that a wanker. Okay? I know I'm dropping a lot of European football stuff last week and this week, but this week he's a wanker. He's a lot of talk. Like he said last week, he was determined. He was really leaning in. You look at all the other press conferences, he was chilling. This one, he was leaning in. New identity. We're going to rush the ball. We're going to commit to rushing the ball. Chuba Hubbard is going to carry the load. He can do it. He's shown us he can do it. They ran it 15 times. Half of what he said they were going to do. Less than half to say what they're going to do. 33 times. It was 15. That's half, technically. Less than half. So what's up with that? Is that just the game definitely didn't get away from him. It didn't get away from him until midway through the third quarter when it was a 5-3 game. A 5-3 game. It's not like you're behind 21 points and you have to sling it on every single down. That's not the way the game turned out. So you can't say that. That's BS. That's wild. Is there a disconnect between he and Joe Brady? Is there some animosity right now? Joe Brady, who was the former passing coordinator with Louisiana State, is it just against his DNA? Is he still stubborn because he's a young guy saying, hey, I'm supposed to be a head coach. I'm not even supposed to be here. I'm supposed to be a head coach. I'm not listening to you, Temple guy. Where have you coached? Temple? Baylor? What was that? I coached at LSU. So is he just going against him, or is Sam freaking out and he's checking out of the run because he feels like he has to overcommit because he thinks that, a 2-point game, it feels like a 21-point game. He's got to push it. I don't know. We're not in the headsets. But I'm surprised no one got left in the Meadowlands. I'm surprised Joe Brady still has a job. And if there's anyone whose stock has gone down the quickest, you would think, because I know the NFL is an old boys club, but if anyone's stock has gone down the quickest, is Joe Brady. Joe Brady probably should have taken the Philadelphia Eagles job last year because I don't know who's going to give him another call. Afterwards, Matt Rhule said that he's not going to think about the future, but he said that Sam Darnold's going nowhere. They benched him to give a spark to PJ Walker, who tried to make something happen, but he's just not that guy. He's not a guy who just shows up and he's an MVP type. He's going to change the outlook of the game. That's just not the way it is. So Sam Darnold, he says Sam Darnold's the quarterback from now on still. So this guy who signed a 7-year contract with the Carolina Panthers is literally staking his reputation and Scott Fitterer's reputation and his career, really, because there are people on the Twitter sphere, and I was feeling it too. This is the kind of loss that they get you fired. And for Matt Rhule basically to hang his hat on Sam Darnold, that they truly believe, who they traded a second-round pick for, who is going to basically, if the season continues the way it is going to seem like a really late first-rounder to the Jets, and a sixth-rounder for a guy who you're probably going to let go at the end of the year because we got deep pockets. We could let him go. It's wild. It's wild. And Joe Person also said that league and team sources say that the Panthers are definitely going to be involved in Deshaun Watson trade talks right now. Well, if you're the Houston Texans and they're losing right now to the Cardinals, you see the way the Panthers are right now, you know they're desperate. You're going to take them for everything they're worth. And do you really think Deshaun Watson's worth it? If league sources are saying it, they must know something about the investigation, that it's going well, or he's going to be in the clear, he should be good to go, or maybe you trade for him, you figure out what happens in the offseason. This year's a wash. It doesn't really matter. It's not like you're going to get that first-round pick because you're giving at least 3 of them away to Houston, so it doesn't matter. That good. That one guy can change the game. If they are, because Sam Darnold is definitely not the answer. He makes mental mistakes. He has overthrows. He has underthrows. He makes stupid decisions. You can't blame the O-line anymore. Yes, there's problems. Yes, he got sacked up the middle one time that I remembered as I was on a walk. Because honestly, I was kind of blanking out. But you can't blame the line anymore. You cannot blame the line anymore. It's his processing. He's California cool. Maybe he's too cool. He needs a little bit of that, Northeast hype. Northeast anxiety, dealing with 4 seasons, being tough. It's just not being quick. You got to make a decision, When you're on the subway in New York City, you see a train coming. You got to know, is this my train or not? Is this my stop or not? Am I getting on or am I getting off? I'm getting on, getting off. There's no, I'm going to sit this one out and have an avocado tea latte or something. No, that's not going to work. Chuba Hubbard showed he had some hands. DJ Moore didn't have a bad game. 78 yards receiving. Longest catch was 21 yards. Pretty dope. Robbie Anderson showed up a little bit. He had one drop, but it was a really tough throw. Tough catch to make. But all in all, it's on the staff. It's on Matt Rhule, who I am edging towards BS artist. Joe Brady, who I think is either youthfully ignorant or arrogant or both. Sam Darnold. It's just not working out. And Scott Fitter, this is on you too. You traded a 2nd and a 6th for this guy who you believed could be coached up to be something. And it's not happening. So let's burn the tape. This is the worst offensive showing in Matt Rhule era, however long or short it's going to be. Burn the tape, burn the DVD, burn the MP4. Move on to next week on the road in Atlanta, who also won. They showed grit. They went back and forth against Miami. They got it done. They ABC always be closing with my Korean kicker coup. I think the season's getting away, guys. As I'm doing it here, using the barbecue. I think it's cooked. And even if they do trade for Deshaun Watson, then you're letting go of at least 3 years of first-round draft picks and second-round draft picks. Probably as low as you thought last week was low. Actually, no, last week at least had the drive to end the game, and they lost to overtime. This was bad. And you lost to Dave Gettleman. And Graham Gano was a huge part of this. And I know Ryan Vermillion is not part of the team anymore, but the fact that he trashed the Panthers before the game, and then he trashed them during the game, and then after the game he said he had this game circled the second he got the calendar. So this was a revenge game through and through. James Bradbury had a pick. Dave Gettleman was having a great time. Not much more to say. This one's going to be quick and dirty because it's like when you eat something gross and you don't want to offend someone who made it. You just chew it as much as you can, swallow it, and then move on. That's what you got to do. Chew this game, swallow it, spit it out if you want. Cool. Move on to the next week. Atlanta. Christian McCaffrey's not going to play. Is he even going to be on the team? Stephon Gilmore. not activated for this game. Could he come back next week? We'll see. Maybe he comes back for the Patriots being safe. I don't know what we're fighting for. Who are the Panthers fighting for right now? Are they fighting for a wild card spot? I don't think it's going to happen. If the head coach and the offensive coordinator just aren't seeing eye to eye, I don't know how you play a full game. And the defense can't always try to make a miracle, pull a rabbit out of its hat. It's just not going to happen. They're going to get exposed. They're going to get tired. And that's exactly what's happening. The Panthers ran 9 times after the first drive. 9 times. It's embarrassing. There were, I believe, 8 drives with the Panthers that they did not get a first down. Joe Brady is an offensive genius, a head coach. I think next week, if something doesn't happen in Atlanta, he's gone. He is gone. All right, that's this episode of Panthers Post. If you're new here, like, subscribe, comment, community. Let me know how you feel. How desperate are you? I'm already on 2022 NFL draft if we have draft picks. Deshaun Watson, cool. He was great. Led the league in passing with a crappy Houston team, as we're seeing now. Crappy team. They're letting a lot of guys go. But could he be somebody to turn this season around? We'll see. You're up against the Miami Dolphins, who just lost, so they're desperate. The Philadelphia Eagles are losing to the Las Vegas Raiders. They're desperate. We'll see. We'll see what Fitty does. Because right now, there's a couple transactions he's made that haven't looked good. Robbie Anderson, Sam Darnold, Denzel Perriman. Honestly, the Dan Arnold to Jacksonville for C.J. Henderson. C.J. Henderson hasn't really done much, guys. Maybe I know he's a future pick. I know he's a future pickup, develop, turn him into somebody, top 10 pick just a year ago. But Dan Arnold was a big part of this offense as well. At least for Sam, he was a big security blanket for him. So spotlight's on Fitty, man. It's your first year. Now the honeymoon is over. Honeymoon season's over. The funny gifts are over, man. You got to start delivering. We will deliver midweek a preview of the Falcons game, and whatever news happens, it's going to come out on Thursday because it seems like a lot of news happens on Wednesday, and we're going to drop everything on Thursday. All right, thanks for watching. See you guys on Thursday.